com. Opa!
Canton's Morning News with Pam Cook continues now.
Canton's Morning News, Bill Morgan in for Pam Cook, and happy to talk some Tribe baseball, Cleveland's baseball insider on a Thursday morning with Bob DiBiasio from the Cleveland Indians. And Bobby D, when we talk about the second half of the season getting underway, I think the biggest question I've heard here in Canton and Stark County is ask Bobby D, even though he's a PR guru and not a doctor, what's the latest on Shane Bieber and Aaron Savali?
Hey, good morning, Mr. Morgan. Good to see you, man. It's been a while since you and I have connected, so it's good to see you. The MASH unit that is the Cleveland Indians, yes, we've had our share of injuries all year long. I think fans should just sit back and relax a little bit about Shane Bieber and Aaron Savali. When you hear that they're doing bullpen sessions, then you can get excited. And I don't know if we're close to either one of those gentlemen getting into the bullpen and letting loose and then going on rehab starts. It's still going to probably be a couple weeks before they really get after throwing. So maybe the beginning of August, somewhere in there. But, you know, for a ball club that's had its entire starting rotation go down, I think we've done a pretty good job of staying above 500 and had 3 pretty good months in the first half of the season, and 1 horrible week has been the nature of our season thus far.
Well, Bob, and I guess when we talk about the Indians and the possibility of making it to the playoffs, right now I think this number is correct. 4.5 games out of the second wild card spot. And if you can make up, use your math however you want to, a half game a week, maybe you're able to move into those wild card spots despite those challenges. Having said that, one of the guys who most recently was really good in the starting pitching role, after he's faced some challenges this season, Tristan McKenzie came back from Columbus, and his last start, Bobby D, he was lights out.
Well, he was. He looked like a number 1 draft pick in his last start. And again, you know, Bill, we've talked over the years about the growth and development of a young athlete, and all of us in life. I don't think it's very rare that the growth chart of any person, let alone a young athlete, goes straight up. You know, there's peaks and valleys in that growth chart. And we've seen it with Corey Kluber. You know, we've seen it with Shane Bieber. We've seen it with Tristan McKenzie and every young athlete that, you know, there's bumps and bruises and hiccups along the way. And it's just nice to watch a young man find his way out of all of those hiccups and in the valleys. And Tristan certainly is a young man that we think the world of and hope that he can find it. He threw effortlessly in his last start, and that was fun to watch.
Bob, you mentioned the phraseology MASH unit, and certainly it's been that for the Indians this year. But one of the guys who's been very consistent all year, and despite his offensive numbers, I think he's kind of flown under the radar a little bit. Talk to us about Harold Ramirez and the job he's done for this team.
Yeah, Harold's an interesting find, right? A guy that's on waivers. You said Harold, right? Not Jose?
Correct.
Yeah, just making sure, because whenever we hear Ramirez, it's our stud, Jose, our all-star. How Jose goes, we go. I mean, that's a pretty firm grasp of the obvious. But Harold was an incredible find. Miami Marlins had a wonderful year for them in 2019 and struggled like many did in 2020 in the pandemic season. And then they put him on waivers simply because they had some young outfielders that they wanted to get more playing time for. And our people gobbled him up as fast as they could. And I think Harold has done a nice job for us. He really attacks the baseball in the batter's box. And the more he plays in the outfield, I think the better he'll get. He just needs more experience as a young guy. But when we got Fran Mill back and Bobby Bradley starting to hit, and Jose Ramirez and Ahmed doing his thing. Eddie Rosario was starting to hit, and Harold down lower in the lineup. That really did lengthen our lineup and make our offense a lot more productive than it had been earlier in the season. So anxious to see how all that plays out when we get Eddie back healthy and the whole lineup is back intact.
Bob DiBiasio from the Cleveland Indians. Bobby D, as always, we appreciate it. I know Pam will look forward to talking to you again coming up in the very near future.
Well, it's always a treat. And again, good to see you, Bill, and go Tribe.